Hi, this is Josh from Brown Dog Gadgets. Today we're going to be making a fun Bristlebot. What are Bristlebots? Well, they're fun little vibrating toothbrush robots that are easy to make and endlessly configurable. Put them together in 5 to 10 minutes with your kids, use lesson plans and directions to improve the educational aspect of them, or just have fun. They're Bristlebots. Hi, welcome to our live streaming today. I'm Josh again from Brown Dog Gadgets, and we're here with Make Camp to do some fun stuff. And if you like what we're doing today, please be sure to tag Make Together and Family Maker Camp. These are fun things to show off when you're making your fun Bristlebots. So, browndoggadgets.com, we make a lot of fun, really cool educational science and STEM activities for kids of all ages, things like our Bristlebots, as well as quite a few other higher level things such as simple programming, paper crafts, wearables. We do all sorts of crazy stuff. Today we are making a Bristlebot, this little guy right here. So we're going to show you how to make one today. It's not too tough. Follow along if you'd like, or watch this live stream later and you can make one lickety-split. So let's switch over to our top-down view. This is our Bristlebot. Oh, let me get to the middle of the screen here. There we go. Now this is our little Bristlebot guy right here. He is pretty darn simple in his overall construction. He is made of the following items. A toothbrush head, which we have right here. This is actually a custom-made one that we designed and get manufactured for us, but you can just cut the head off of a regular toothbrush or an old one. Also has a vibrating motor here. They're often called pager motors, but no one uses pagers anymore, so younger kids might not know what that is. But a little vibrating motor is some kind of thing you'll find in a cell phone or in a lot of toys, or a cheap toothbrush. We're using then some pipe cleaners, some double-sided foam tape, a little tiny 1.5 volt AG13 or LR44 battery, and some googly eyes to add a little bit of fun to everything, because everything looks better with googly eyes. Put this little guy together and he will just vibrate around for you. There we go, enough of him. Watch out or they'll fall off the table. So we're going to make one up here, lickety-split. And by the way, if you have any questions, please be sure to pop a question up into your streaming service of note, Facebook, YouTube, or whatnot, and we'll be happy to answer it as we go along making them. And so let's pop open this little single Bristlebot kit. Got our pipe cleaners here. We got one googly eye, some double-sided foam tape, our custom toothbrush head, our motor, our battery, the second googly eye. Now our Bristlebots come in a wide variety of formats. We have ones that we sell on our own website at browndoggadgets.com or on Amazon. You can also find these very shortly on makershed.com. They come in nice little 4-packs like this, which are handy for parties or stocking stuffers, as well as some bigger 10-packs for doing activities with Scout Troops 4-H after-school programs, if there's an after-school program still going on. They come in a variety of fun little formats here, and most of our kits come with a little, little direction card like this, or you can find bigger directions or video directions on our website. We also have wonderful large printable directions, such as this big guy here, printed off on my somewhat dying printer apparently. And these also come in English and Espanol, so if you want to practice your Spanish or need to do things in Spanish. But they're pretty easy, step-by-step, straightforward directions on how to make these little guys. And so we're using this little direction set right here and putting our stuff together, lickety-split. So let's get our Bristlebot bristling. First, we take our fun little tiny toothbrush head here. Now, I'm going to tell you this, as somebody who's tried out literally hundreds of toothbrushes over the past 10 years, there is a difference between quality and use of toothbrushes. Different toothbrushes will get you different types of motion depending on how the bristles are angled, or the stiffness of the bristles, or the weight of the overall project. So if you want to make a really fun activity, good afternoon making and trying a bunch of stuff out, go to your local dollar store, buy a bunch of different types of really cheap toothbrushes from there, a couple 5-packs or 3-packs, and have the kids make those puppies up and see what different things happen with them. First and foremost, we're going to apply our double-sided foam tape. You can use 3M mounting tape if you're trying to get things done from scratch. We use a nice industrial foam tape, about 1 inch long by 1/2 inch wide. This stuff is great. It sticks to stuff and doesn't come off, which is perfect for a project like this. So once we have it on, we're going to peel off the top layer, and we're going to apply our motor. Now, like all good vibrating motors, there's a little offset weight on the end. We're going to switch to our close-up camera to show you what that looks like. if we can get to our close-up camera. Apparently, close-up camera's not working at this time. So anyway, oh, technology. So there's a little offset weight on the end of here that spins. That's what gives us this vibrating motion. You can find a lot of types of different vibrating motors on Amazon or through different hobby websites. We like a little barrel motor like this. We can actually see and turn the little offset weight on the end. It gives a little fun motion to it. Kids can see what's actually happening, and it's a lot more interesting than the internal vibration motors you can also find out there. So we're going to take this motor, we're going to stick it on the end of here so that the motor hangs off. We don't want this hanging off here and touching the toothbrush head or getting stuck into the tape. That's a bad thing. So one of the few ways you can really mess your Bristlebot up is if this little vibrating motor does not flip around on itself. We're going to take one of our 2 wires, doesn't matter which one. We're going to take the exposed wire part and we're just going to lay it on top of the middle of the tape right there. We don't want to dig it into the tape, that's bad, but we're just going to lay it on top so that we can put our battery on there. We're going to pop out one of these little batteries. Little note about these batteries, these are AG13, often known as LR44 batteries. They're pretty common, 1.5 volts. CR2032s, which are 3-volt batteries, also work, but they're a little heavier and wider, about the size of a quarter. I don't recommend using those, but they can work in a pinch. These guys are also extremely inexpensive. I don't know if I can ever get this out of the package. There we go. One thing to note about these, don't let people swallow them. Like all coin cell batteries, they're the one dangerous aspect of a project like this is having a child or pet swallow something like this, because they can be quite dangerous if you swallow them. So we're going to take our battery, and with our words up, which is the positive side, we're going to press it down on top of that little wire and on top of the sticky foam tape. Then it kind of stays on there. It won't come off because it's partially stuck onto the tape and partially stuck onto that wire. Now we can just take the other wire here and touch it to the top, and oh, there it goes. Yep, it's vibrating. Little pro tip here, if you want to reuse your Bristlebot over and over and over again, there's a little modification you can do to keep this bottom wire from getting gummed up from the tape. Once it's stuck in the tape, it does kind of get really covered in goo, and you can't really reuse that motor over and over again. What we found to do is stick the stick this bottom wire onto the battery with a little tiny piece of like clear tape, or even better, like conductive tape, such as our maker tape, which we love, and then stick everything down. This way that wire is protected between the tape and the other tape, the little clear tape you put on the bottom. Just put another layer of tape in there to protect that exposed part of your motor wire from the sticky tape. Little pro tip from us doing this at teaching conferences and wanting to reuse these over and over again. Most of the time, it's not a big thing. So anyway, you're basically done with this Bristlebot at this point. You just have to add on our fun-filled pipe cleaners. These custom toothbrush heads we have made up have a slot in the middle of the bristles, so a pipe cleaner fits right through there. Easy peasy. Or other ones work just fine too. Put this other pipe cleaner on top, and then twist. That'll clamp it down and hold it in place. Pipe cleaners are a great way to change the balance and the movement of your Bristlebot. They also act like training wheels on a bicycle, so it doesn't flop over left and right. Especially if you're just using random motors you find off the internet. Some motors are too strong, some motors are too weak, but this helps keep them all stable and upright. Our custom toothbrush heads here are nice and wide, so they don't tend to fall over too much, but since Bristlebots are completely random based on their balance, changing the way these pipe cleaners are situated, moved back and forth, swung up and down, will change how it moves. Maybe it'll spin in place, maybe it'll go in a straight line, maybe it'll just wiggle randomly. But they're a really easy way to change the personality, quote unquote, of the Bristlebot. Well, last thing to do is apply some googly eyes, because every Bristlebot needs googly eyes. These are self-sticking googly eyes, which, as we all know, are the best type of googly eye. And we'll stick these onto the front. And I'm really bad at talking and peeling googly eyes at the same time, so apologies.
You're doing great there, Josh, with the peeling.
Thanks, Pete.
Those googly eyes are appealing right now.
I don't think
Thank you.
We don't have a sad trombone sound effect
on our
software. But then once it's together, you can either put a piece of tape on top to hold it in place, or you can sometimes situate it on the side so it is held in place on its own, and there you go. Now, Bristlebots are just whimsical and easy to make To actually make them a learning-based activity, we have directions and activities, leveled lesson plans and activities for elementary, middle school, and high school on our website. And more or less, we have the kids try to complete different engineering challenges by modifying their Bristlebot and recording what modifications they make and what works, what doesn't work. And the best part is, since Bristlebots are so random, whenever you do this with a classroom or group of kids, you'll have some kids try a certain way of changing the Bristlebot, and it might work for them, but not for another group, because it is just completely random. But they're fun and they're whimsical and they're easy. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Josh, this little Bristlebot is kind of cute, but how can I make a much bigger and more interesting Bristlebot? Well, you can also go to the dollar store and take a big scrub brush and a dollar store scrub brush for $1 and a dollar store electric toothbrush also for $1 and zip tie those two things together. Oh yes, if you zip tie them together and even just cut off the toothbrush head aspect of it, you essentially have a big vibrating motor with a battery holder attached to it and a large bristle. Now this thing is extremely silly looking and it doesn't move very well, but it does slowly vibrate across the table. I used to call it the Mama Bristlebot, and with the little ones running around it in a classroom setting was always kind of fun. And throw some big old googly eyes on there as well to make it extra silly. So that is basically how you make a Bristlebot. They're simple, they're easy peasy to make. If you have some of these supplies already, great. Otherwise, you can either get them online, from Amazon, from Maker Shed, from us at browndoggadgets.com, and just individual components or the full kit and caboodle. But they're a great activity for kids, and they're just a nice crowd pleaser as well, because every kid can make it, really 10 years old and up. They can do that work entirely on their own without any supervision from an adult. Below that, they'll need a little bit of help because of the dexterity involved and just getting the fine motor skills. But they're easy, they're fun. Battery lasts about an hour to 2 hours off one of these little cheap batteries, but they're a nice little project to make. So any questions, let us know, or talk to the people here at Maker Camp. But please, one more time with those wonderful hashtags. There we go, I'm pointing the right direction. If you can, definitely tag Family Maker Camp or Make Maker Together. There we go. Tag those when making projects. And if you want to check us out, browndoggadgets.com or our wonderful Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're always posting fun things and doing live streams such as this for making fun projects, both from our materials and from other people's materials. So definitely check us out. And thank you very much for coming to this live stream. And again, if you have any questions, let us know. We're always around. So have a good afternoon.